So how do you solve this? How do you go, well, honey, if I'm all geared towards this and it's all my brain going this direction and it should be going in that direction, how do I change it? You know, I've got hope in hell, surely. Well, absolutely you can solve it. Very much so you can solve it. Now there are 3 areas to start as far as that's concerned, okay? And I'm going to tell you in a second what those 3 areas are. So if you haven't written things down so far and you've got a pad and pen in front of you, start writing what these 3 things are. If you focus on these 3 things for you in terms of how you are shaped in that particular direction as an intuitive sense, this is specific, okay? Specific to the sensitive and the intuitive sensitive. And you think, well, I'm sensitive, but I'm not intuitive, Heidi. Well, you are damn well intuitive, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, okay? Intuitive people, intuitive sensitivity means that you utilize that deeper core part of who you are in terms of your survival mechanism to intuitively find your path forward, okay? That's what it means. Yes, of course, as you do that, yes, you will find that your intuitive ability and instinct comes out in a sharper way. That's what mine did, because I chose to actually direct all of that into something useful, something that gives me an ability to look at things in a clearer way. That's all. It's just with an element of clarity. Why? Because I've got this hypersensitive nervous system. I can do that. People who haven't can't. So I just utilized and made the best of something that's already there. Okay. So what's the first thing that you do? You focus on creating an inner security blanket. Okay. When your inner world hasn't won. I'll explain or give you an indication of what that means in a minute, but that's what you do. Okay. You focus on, number 1, the key area. This is what I did. And it worked. Okay. And it's worked for thousands of other intuitive sensitives. And you may not, think, well, Heidi, I've been, around you for quite some time and you've never really explained it this way. Well, this is what you've been doing. Okay. You've been creating, or I've helped you direct in terms of that direction of focusing on creating an inner security blanket when your inner world doesn't have one. Okay. I'll explain how you do that in a minute. Number 2 is you create predictability. This is key, very, very key as far as you're concerned, because the higher your ACE score, okay, the more stressed you become by inconsistency. So to give you as an example, when stress is predictable, it causes a lot less damage on the system than when it is unpredictable. When stress is unpredictable, when you can predict that, let's say 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, you have to do something that causes you stress. Okay, that stress is predictable. So therefore it has much less of an impact. It has no impact actually, because you can reset, excuse me, on your system than an unpredictable stress. Okay. So one of the key areas, if you grew up around an alcoholic, just giving you this as an example, if one of your parents was an alcoholic, your system is highly stressed because it had to deal with chronic unpredictability. Okay. So one of the key areas to really start to rework things and unfreeze the freeze is to create predictability. Because, as I say, the higher your ACE score, the more stressed you become by inconsistency. And also the lower your score is, it needs to be predictable stress. So you start to create patterns in your life where there is a level of predictability, where you know what you can predict your way around things. And then you will find that the freeze begins to unfreeze. So what it also means is that you pre-warn your system, okay, of changes the best that you can. So you pre-warn your own system. So this is about then developing that relationship. When I said that that's switched off at the moment, your ability to notice what the body is trying to talk to you about. It may be, you may have done the work enough for it to start to turn on, but when it's really on, your system becomes really quite aware of it, and it can return to its healthy balance. Okay, even if perhaps it hasn't had it for a long time. Pre-warn your system of changes the best that you can. Okay, and number 3 is you strengthen the weak neurological pathways, and that is perfectly possible. Okay, if you think, well, hang on, surely if it's my brain wired in that direction, you can't change it. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can, because the brain is plastic. Doesn't mean that it's made of plastic. It has a level of plasticity, which means it can change. You can change pathways. You can adjust stuff. You can do that, but you have to participate within it. It won't do it on its own. Okay, I'm making this really, really clear. It won't happen on its own. Why? Because it can't. Because you're wired in a direction you don't want to keep to that higher level of freeze and stress in your system. Okay? It can't happen on its own. And yes, in adjusting that, and you're saying to me, well, is it going to be perfect then, Heidi? No, it's never going to be perfect. Okay? If you've got a high ACE score, it's never going to be perfect. Okay? It will be imperfectly perfect. It means that you will be a perfect imperfection. And I've used this analogy before. It's the smashed vase. You know, you had this perfect porcelain vase opportunity in this perfect human being coming into the world. You know, you as that person. And that vase, that perfect porcelain vase got dropped. And maybe it's been dropped quite a few times. And it's smashed into 1,000 pieces. But what you've been doing is putting those pieces back, okay? And you are moulding the most beautiful vase you've ever seen, because you've got the pieces and you're putting them back together. It's created a mosaic of light, something different. It shines differently to that plain mosaic, that plain porcelain vase. It's a mosaic. It catches the light. It's something that shows a level of depth and intensity. Okay, that's what you are. You're never going to be perfect. Okay, your system is never going to be absolutely perfect. It doesn't exist, and it certainly doesn't exist for a highly traumatized system. What does exist is you can be imperfectly perfect. Okay, but it's not going to happen on its own. You have to participate with yourself. So how would you like me to help you do this? Okay, again, type in if you'd like me to help you do this. It's very, very easy, very simple, and completely and utterly accessible for everybody. Okay, solving that starts with focusing on creating the inner security blanket. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you start that process of creating that inner security blanket, that core comfort? Well, you have to address inner shame. Okay, and before you go, whoa, that sounds uncomfortable, maybe it is, but actually, if you want to feel better, your core needs a security blanket, needs something of comfort. And how do you do that? In my view, it's you address your inner shame. Okay, so how can you do that now? Well, if you're a circle member, it's already there for you. Okay, for free. I've done a course for you as a circle member. If you're a circle member already, it's there for you for free. Okay, you don't have to pay for it, nothing. I'm giving this to you for free. Complete access to that course in terms of starting to create that stability, in terms of that security blanket. Okay, and you may have done lots of other courses with me and things around that, but this is to give you this indication to feel that you've got something. Okay, that your inner world's got something that it's starting to have its blanket. And the only way it's going to hold its blanket is if you allow the shame to disperse. And that's not just your shame. It's stuff that's been there for generations, okay? But it's dissolvable. So if you're a circle member, it's there for you for free, okay? If you're not currently a circle member, you go, well, that's not fair. How come they get this course? Well, you become a circle member for £1. £1. Okay, you get trial membership for 30 days for £1. Can't make it any less than that. You get in there and you then, for £1 for 30 days, trial circle membership, you will have that course and you will have 2 other courses. So you'll have that mini course plus 2 others, which are worth £99. Remember right at the beginning, and I said about, the 3 top areas to deal with. 3 top areas that you're dealing with, okay? In terms of your life as an intuitive sensitive in your adult life, okay? Not in terms of your ACE, but in terms of your adult life. 3 key areas. Those 3 top ones around guilt, how you process that, difficult people, and how it relates also to, feeling that your adrenals are whacked out. Well, there's 3 courses in there, okay? It's in the circle for £1 for 30 days, worth £99. That's how much we would sell, or we do sell them for individually, or they have been sold for individually outside of the circle to non-circle members in previous time. Yes, for you as a circle, if you think, hang on a second, I'm a circle member, are those for me as well? Yes, they're in there. They're in there. You may have already done them. Now, though, you understand how you do them in order. Okay? So you do the shame one first, which is new. No one's had that before. For free. Okay? Non-member, sign up, trial, £1 for 30 days. Okay? Gives you plenty of time to then to do those videos and to do those meditations. Okay? And to do the exercise as well. Okay, it gives you plenty of time to do all those courses in 30 days if you don't want to become a longer term member. Okay, and it's given to you in order depending on your specific path. Okay, remember you filled in the quiz, and it's done for you in a specific order. Okay, there's no overwhelm then. There's no decisions. You don't have to make a decision. You don't have to go into a freeze. It's done for you. Okay, it's given to you for £1. If you want to then do, that's a security blanket. If you then want to do the second part within that, which is to develop predictability or enhance that ability to do that, then keep your circle membership after those 30 days, where it will then switch to £15 a month, which is a cancel at any time subscription. Okay, so then after that, all circle members can cancel at any time. There's no fixed contract, etc. You can cancel at any time. This is why people are circle members. Okay, it gives them that level of predictability. That's why members are members. I'm there for them. Okay, they have that level of predictability. I'm there for them. I'm there. I don't disappear. I don't go on anyone. I'm there. I'm there as that level of giving your internal world that possibility of healing and stabilizing. Why do I do that? Because I offer what I would have liked and never received and had to find out for myself. And that wasn't fair, quite frankly. I don't think it was fair. And that's why I do them, to give that level of stability and predictability, okay? And the number 3, which is to strengthen the weak neurological pathways. Well, how do you do that? Well, you do that with the circle meditations, okay? For those of you, again, who's circle members who've been slack on your meditations, they're in there. That's what they're there for. That's to strengthen your neurological pathways, so you don't have to be in freeze, okay? But you have to make the effort. You have to do it. It's there. It's part of being a circle member, okay? And of course, the extra courses, all the others that I do. If you're not a circle member, they're there as well. All those extra courses that I do are all at substantially reduced costs for circle members. Substantially reduced costs for circle members. And again, in terms of those one-to-one sessions and things like that I do, most people don't even get anywhere near them, because there's only one of me. I have a waiting list that's very long, and circle members get priority. Of course they are, because I offer them that level of predictability and stability. But if you're you say, oh, Heidi, I prefer in person. I'm more of an in-person kind of person. I don't really want to do stuff online. I'm more of an in-person kind of person. Well, then join me, members and guests, so circle members and guests, me. This is the annual event that I do in March, which is for intuitive sensitive people. It's me who gives that entire thing. It's me in person, where you can come and talk to me. I give presentations, all as part of that. It's Inspire UK. We have people coming from all over the world. It's near what's next to an airport, next to a major airport, because we do have people coming in from all over the world for that event. And that is the annual event that I do for intuitive sensitive people, to learn, to develop, to have connection, and where they want to talk to me. I'm not an elusive being, but it is the annual event that I do. And yes, I do very few in-person events, simply because I can't do so many now. And when you want that interaction, want to talk to me, you want to see me, you want to connect with your other intuitive sensitives, and you want that depth of interaction because you like it, or you want to enhance what you're doing in terms of, let's say, the shame course, then come to Inspire. Come to it. Be part of it. Do your best to be there. You will feel like you're the only person in the room. If you think, well, what then happens if my whole system becomes overwhelmed and all this? You won't get it. That won't happen, because you're in the environment where we all get that. And so it's all accounted for. You feel safe, you feel comfortable, and you feel completely and utterly included. And you will feel like you get that deep level of transformation. So, the links are below, okay, for Inspire and for the Circle. Okay, so, you don't really have any excuse. There's no excuse. If you like what I've said, and it resonates with you, it makes sense to you, and you're ready. If you're still listening to me now, you really are ready to start that, or to really enhance that process. And yes, and if you're thinking, well, is that just it then? It's just this course on shame. No, it's not. Because as time moves forward, you will find that there are other courses that I will make very much available that are to do with healing these core components when you've got an adversity score that needs assistance with adjustment. So I hope you've enjoyed this session. Absolutely, I really do hope to see you at Inspire. Really do hope to see you at Inspire in March. And if you're not a Circle member, I really look forward, hopefully, seeing you at a Circle session. And I really do hope that you enjoy Sorting the Inner Shame course. You will find that it's profoundly helpful. Have a good evening, daytime, wherever it is that you are, and I very much look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.